Hey everybody, welcome to the Audiophile Journal screencast number 1. Today we're going to be talking about HDtracks and a couple of the other download services. We're going to go through how to set your account up on HDtracks so that you're downloading the files that you want. We're going to be talking about how to make sure that your computer is ready to run the HDtracks download manager. And then we're going to go through the process and make a purchase and make sure that those files that we download get integrated into the rest of our electronic music library. The first thing, we should put it in a little bit of perspective. So everybody remembers way back when iTunes was the only game in town. They started out with 128 kilobits per second lossy files. So these are AAC files, which use the MP3 codec. They didn't really sound all that great, but it was all that was available at the time. Later on, they upgraded to 192 kilobits per second, and then eventually where they are now with 256 kilobits per second. But we know from listening to some of the null tests that are in other articles on this website that even 256 kilobits per second, no matter how good the AAC format is still going to leave us some distortion in the sound. So let's strike iTunes here and jump over to Amazon. Amazon was the next big music store to come along that offered DRM-free music. Their MP3s are also at 256 kilobits per second. And they've got a huge selection, but it's still a lossy format. You're still getting some distortion in there. The latest to come along has been Google Play, which was formerly Google Music. They topped the charts at 320 kilobits per second. But there again, it's still a lossy format. It's in MP3, so it's DRM free, which is a great thing. But it's still going to have a little bit of distortion in there. And I keep referring back to that other article. I'll throw a link into this article to show you that even at 320 kilobits per second, you're still going to have some distortion in there. So what that really leaves us with is HDtracks. At HDtracks, we can jump in there. We can download at CD resolution, 16 bits, 44.1 kilohertz. And then they've got their HD section, which goes all the way up to 192 kilohertz, 24-bit, with some amazing sounding transfers in there. So let's go ahead and talk about HDtracks. You'll want to go in and create an account. And one of the things that it asks you when you create an account down here is, what is your default format? Now, I made a mistake early on and did not select my default format, or maybe I had it set wrong. And I was always downloading files in the wrong format and having to contact customer service and get another download of the format that I wanted. So when you create your account, you can go into preferences and set, if you are a FLAC person like I am, set it at the file format that you want. And that way, whenever you're browsing around the site, and you just click to download, you know you'll always be getting the right file type. But let's jump in here. Let's go home. And I know that I wanted to download the new Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello, Return of the Spectacular Spinning Songbook. So let's go ahead and you'll see here that it's already selected for me FLAC. I'll go ahead and add that to the cart. Go through the checkout process, and once I'm done with the checkout process and come back to the confirmation page, we'll pick up again. All right, we're done with the checkout process and we're at the confirmation page. You'll see here that we've got thanks for your order. If you've ordered any downloads, they should begin shortly. And Chrome is actually showing me down here that it's trying to download a file, HDtracks.jnlp, and that's a file that we definitely want to keep. What that does is when I click on it, it'll hit Java and start the HDtrack download manager. And when download manager pops up, it's going to find my order and go back to HDtracks, figure out which files I need to download, and it will start that process. So what we've got here is the Elvis Costello album coming down. The first thing that comes down is the liner notes and album art. That's already finished. And if we look down here, it's already finished the first track. It's heading on to the second track. What we can do, though, is make sure that everything that gets downloaded here is integrated into my existing music library. So I go over to Settings, and down here with File Settings, I can tell it exactly where I want these music files to land once the downloads are complete. It has remembered where I like my music stored, but if it weren't, I could go over here to Change and browse through to the location where I've got the rest of my music set and set it at that location for both the music downloads and any playlists that I might download. So that will ensure that once these files are downloaded and they get copied over, they'll be integrated in with the rest of the music library. I'm about a fifth of the way done, so why don't we go ahead and pause, and we'll pick up again here once the downloads are complete. Alright, so our tracks are finished downloading, and it's asking us what we want to do, if we want to play tracks, and let's actually go in and do it manually just to make sure that everything's okay. So we're going to close out of Download Manager, and we're going to jump into JRiver Media Center, because it's the best player out there. We'll go into audio and take a look at recent albums, and there we have it, our new Elvis Costello album. And we can see that it has downloaded at 96 hertz, or 96 kilohertz rather, 24-bit, which is exactly what we ordered. So we've been through some of the lossy file download stores. We've been through the HDtracks download process, making sure that we've got our account set with the preset to the file format that we want to download all the time, most of the time. And we've gone through and made the purchase and told Download Manager exactly where we want the files placed, so that when we open up our preferred player, it's integrated in with everything else. So hopefully you've found this useful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.